The Grand Teton sits at over 13,770 feet tall. To climb it, we will have to push through over 14 miles and 7,000 feet of hiking, scrambling, and technical climbing. This is by no means your average hike. If you've followed our story for a while now, you may remember that Nina and I moved out here to take jobs as Via Ferrata guides. Since then, we have spent the past 3 years of living in Jackson dreaming of the day that we would stand on top of the Grand. But despite living in a mountain town, we would still consider ourselves relatively beginner climbers. And even though we don't own any ropes or gear, we happen to know some people that do. A few months ago, our friend Brian offered to take us up the Grand. Between him and his best friend Matt, they have summited the mountain over 20 times. We couldn't have been more excited about the opportunity to check this peak off of our bucket list. For those considering climbing the Grand, know that it's more than just being physically capable. Even with the proper fitness and climbing ability, there is still no guarantee of success. Things outside of our control, like inclement weather and elevation sickness, often prevent people from reaching the top. That is why it's essential to have the proper equipment, knowledge, partner, and a plan before attempting this climb. Now, there are lots of ways to accomplish this mission. The first is to try and do it in one day. While some people may try to free solo and beat the fastest known time, more normal human beings do an alpine start and get back around 16 hours later, exhausted but fulfilled. Another option is to backpack and do it in 2 days. This is how most of the professional guided companies prefer to take their clients up. The first day, they hike in and spend the night up at the lower saddle before summiting and packing out the next day. But we decided to try something a little different. Our plan was to do it in 3 days, camping at the lower saddle before and after summiting. The goal was to really enjoy the experience and take it all in for what it was really worth. Down in the description, you can find helpful resources like current weather conditions, guiding companies, and more. If you're like us and want to spend a night on the trail, make sure to grab a backcountry permit the day before from the Jenny Lake Ranger Station. Let's get started. On day 1, you can expect the hike in to take anywhere from 5 to 7 hours. After starting at Lupine Meadows Trailhead, you'll gain 5,000 feet of elevation in just 7 miles. The first 2,500 feet will be pretty mellow and takes you past the trail for Delta Lake and Disappointment Peak. From here, you'll turn into Garnet Canyon. I still can't believe that some people who climb the Grand in a day miss out on seeing this beautiful part of the hike, since it'll be dark on both their way in and out.
I've never seen the Tetons from this perspective. It's getting me really excited to get up to the lower saddle.
We took a break at Lupine Meadows to soak it all in as we filled up for water and grabbed some snacks.
I'm feeling good, but we've got the hardest section up next. If I'm gonna be a slowpoke anywhere, it's starting now, but I'm feeling good.
From here, we would gain the remaining 2,500 feet of elevation to the lower saddle in just 2 miles. This is when carrying a 40-pound pack on your back really starts to hurt. We passed by the campsites at Lupine Meadows, then went through the moraine before reaching the lower saddle.
Whew, almost there.
Up here, you'll notice the base camp for Exum mountain guides, some storage containers, and hooks to hang your gear to keep the marmots from getting into anything scented. So we're up at camp right now, and there's pretty much zero wind up here at the lower saddle. Apparently, that is an extreme rarity. So what you see us doing right now in our tents is setting up all these guidelines just to prepare, since we'll be here tomorrow night as well, for when it is windy up here. You don't want any of your gear blown away. After setting up camp, we filled up on water, made dinner, and got to enjoy the sunset. It is the end of day 1.
I'm alive. Really wasn't sure how I'd be feeling after day 1.
Doing the Grand in 3 days, the first day on the hike up is supposed to be the hardest day. And that's considering starting at 1 p.m., getting up here at 6, setting up camp, getting dinner and everything. I think we're both feeling really good.
Confident. I'm really excited to do the Grand tomorrow. I hope the weather stays as nice as it is right now, because I don't love being freezing. Bryn says it's quite chilly.
Plan for tomorrow is to wake up at a fairly normal time, climb the Upper Exum Route, hopefully get the summit all to ourselves, do another dinner, and watch another beautiful sunset before hiking down the next day. We are turning in for the night. Tomorrow, we're climbing up there.
Good night.
Good night.
Today was the big day. The morning was cold, which was expected. There was even a little frost on our tent.
He looks warmer than I feel. It's pretty smart.
Did you sleep okay?
Okay. Could be worse.
We started with a bit of hiking, which helped warm us up and get the blood pumping. Up next was some scrambling before going through the eye of the needle. From here, you can either traverse left to go to the Owens-Balding route, or travel right towards Broadway and the Upper Exum. And before we knew it, we were already looking down on the lower saddle. Oh. We took a break as Brian and Matt got all the gear situated. Nina and I knew that this meant that we were about to climb with lots of exposure. After we turned the corner, the sun began to shine on us as we continued climbing. I couldn't even imagine what it would be like to climb this in high winds with cold hands.
Just finished doing the golden staircase. Now we're doing a little bit of roped up simul climbing. Still a little chilly in the shady spot, but we've been given such an incredible day today. Matt said it is the most comfortable that it's ever been. Doing great.
From here, I noticed two things. The first being how nice it was to shed layers with the warmer temps, and the second was facing less exposure the farther we climbed. This allowed us to do some simul climbing and start moving faster. The only hiccup was when we got a little off route.
We might have been a little lost for a little bit, but
No, we weren't. Timing guys are like wizards. We're never late and we're never off route. I wanted to show you that so that you would know
Not to
never
go.
to go there.
sounds like that's pretty standard to get off route. Even when you've done it 20 plus times, it's always a little bit of a scramble to figure out where is the route. Sounds like we're back on. We skipped the V pitch up there, and then are coming over here, and this is the west facing chimney.
As a result, we had to climb some more challenging pitches than expected. But with the perfect conditions, we really had no room to complain.
What did you say this one was called, Brian? The I've never done it this way.
Well, we wanted to give you guys something special.
From here, all we had was one more pitch until we reached the summit.
You give high fives, Matt, or no? None of those.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Whew. Oh, man. There it is. We actually did it.
Beautiful day, no wind, no people. What? This is insane. Incredible.
There's something so special about being up this high. With everything around us seeming so far away, it helps put in perspective the things that really matter in life. At the summit, you can't help but be grateful for all that you have. I am so thankful to have a body that allows me to accomplish such incredible things, as well as awesome friends, mentors, and my wife to make these memories with. After refueling with some snacks, we were back on the move. Next up was the rappels. It sounds like this part of the descent can get pretty backed up, which made Nina and I very nervous, knowing that we'd be going slower than most people.
Rappelling. See you guys in 45 minutes. We'll get to the bottom.
Fortunately, we missed the rush and were able to take our time. The rappelling was fun, but made me realize that the fearlessness that I had a few years ago is no longer there. Supposedly, the first rappel was good training for the second rappel, but that didn't ease our nerves.
That's so terrifying.
Nina, on rappel. J-Bird on rappel.
this normal that I'm not touching the wall?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I'm like, am I just being an idiot right now?
That's the part that freaks people out. And touchdown.
Thanks for not letting me die, Matt.
That's fun. Good stuff.
Didn't die.
Thank you.
Not yet. I've enjoyed doing rappels in the past, but this one, it's pretty hard to tell where you're going. When your pastor tells you a story about someone going splat right before you go, it
Fine.
makes you a little nervous.
Hard part's done. I'm ready to make it back to camp. I'm ready to eat my dinner and walk out tomorrow. Tense. I can see it.
You can see it all the way down there.
I wish I could just teleport there.
So this is the upper saddle, and we're camping, spending our second night at the lower saddle tonight before packing out the third day.
It was fun being able to retrace our steps from the morning, this time with the sun shining on us. We got back to camp a little later than expected. Energy-wise, we definitely could have hiked all the way out, but we were excited to be able to rest our legs, cook up some dinner, and enjoy another incredible sunset. One of my highlights from the trip was definitely getting to use the pit toilet facilities and utilize my wag bag. It was easily one of the most scenic dumps I've ever had.
If it all goes right, you end up with one of these.
Your take-home prize.
Hello. What you doing? Oh, he's so proud of it.
Look how big it is.
I don't want to be near it because I know what's in there. Do not get that close to me. I smell your poop all the time. I do not need to touch it.
It was awesome to sneak in one more night under the stars before waking up the next day and having to pack up.
He's got the triple puff on. Climb over our rock wall. Just in time for the boil. Good job.
We decided to sleep in until 8 and have a nice breakfast before packing up camp. Be careful on the hike down. Make sure to take it slow, especially when carrying a heavy pack, as there is lots of loose rock for you to roll your ankle. At the end of an adventure, I'm always tempted to rush back to the trailhead. I start worrying all about what's been going on in the real world since I've been gone, but then I remembered the reason why we did this climb in 3 days. It was to intentionally slow down. Life's problems will always be there. It is so important to soak up every moment of being unplugged that I can.
Come on, B.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you next time for another best day ever.